All right, this is Kevin with Corn Coast, and we are hanging out with my buddy Raul today. He stopped by with the new 1-3 Fishing Concept Z, and this is a reel that I've been wanting to get my hands on for a long time and been really excited about. This is the zero bearing technology, and from what I've heard and read, this reel has a more consistent spin than any other reel on the market, and one of the most quiet retrieves as well, because there's no grinding from those traditional ball bearings in this reel. So I'm super excited to get this thing ready to go and take a few casts with it, because this could really be a game changer out in the water. First thing that we're going to do today is we're going to get this thing spooled up, and then we're going to get it dialed in so we can make a few casts with it. We're going to show you how we do that. First things first here.
Now, why are we using that line instead of just the good stuff?
Reuse line that you've already used, recycle it back onto the new spool, and then put your new line on top of that. First thing we're going to do here, we're going to bring the line through the first guide on the rod, and then we're going to put it right here through the opening of the reel. So as you can see, we have a little line guide here on the spool, which is really convenient, and we're just going to run the line through there. Then we're going to use our old beat up pair of pliers to snag that, pull it through. Alright, so then you're going to have your tag in, and you're going to have a piece right here from the front of the spool. Alright, we're going to form our loop right here. And we're going to wrap this around 3 or 4 times, and this is a stiff line here, so. Alright, then we're just going to put the tag in right here through the loop. Pull it all down tight. Nice little knot there on the spool. We'll go ahead and cut that tag in off. Reeling the cheaper line here onto the spool, we're going to need Raul for this part of it. You can use any good looking guy for this this part. Okay, so one thing that we got going on here, as you can see, is Raul's got the spool on here with the line coming off the bottom. So if I was to reel that on to the reel as is, we'd be having kind of a figure 8 motion going on. See, we turn it over like this, and we're going to be reeling it straight onto the spool. So make sure, especially with fluorocarbon line and bait casting reels, that you're going to be reeling this off the top of the spool. He's going to put a little bit of tension on here so that we're going to load this line on here nice and tight. Alright, the next thing we need to do is tie our fluorocarbon to our backing line. So we're going to tie a little knot here. I don't know what it's called because I forgot, but I've been tying it a long time and it works great. So what we're going to do is we're going to weave these 2 lines together, these 2 tag ends, 5 or 6 times. And then we're going to take the tag end on one side and wrap it back around the wrap we just made. And we're going to do that 4 or 5 times. Then after you got it wrapped the second time, you take your tag end and you're going to push it back through the loop you made, and you're going to pull it tight. Then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. You take the tag end, you're going to wrap it around the original wrap a couple times, back through the loop. Then we're going to pull that tight, and then we're going to cinch them both together. And we're going to clip the tag ends down nice and short.
You don't need to wet these, they don't get too hot.
That is a good point, and generally speaking, if I was tying up a lure, and I should have done it just now, but you always want to wet the line, especially when you're using fluorocarbon, because when you cinch down that knot, the line can get hot and it can break down the integrity of the line, and you can end up breaking off. That's why You hear these guys saying that they're breaking off on their cast or on hook sets when they're using fluorocarbon. It's generally because your knot isn't lubricated, and the heat damages the line, and then when you put tension on the line, it snaps. As you can see here, we left a little 1/16 of an inch gap at the top of the spool. You never want to fill your line all the way up over the top of the spool. You want to keep it down there, keep it manageable. Alright, so we got a little casting weight tied on here. We're going to try a few casts, but first we got to get this reel down. So then we got your brake system here, and we're only going to set the brakes to 2 right here. We're going to start out with that and see what that does for us. Oh wow. I can almost go fishing off of the porch now because I can almost cast down there all the way to the lake. I can tell you, it casts a country mile because we're in the country and that's about a mile. Cast it, and the fact that you're not going to have to worry about anything going wrong with your bearings, getting a piece of sand in there and those bearings not functioning optimally. That's a thing in the past now. We have that test of time to measure it against as well, and we're going to put this thing through the ringers this year, but we'll get back to you. So far, after my initial dealings with this reel, I'm super impressed and mostly excited to get this thing out on the water. Stay tuned as we put this reel through the ringers down at Kentucky Lake. We got a lot of big bass down there we're planning on testing this thing on. And stay tuned for other Corn Coast updates as well. We got some big stuff planned for the summer. Something like that.
I mean, cheers. It'd be the outtake is the cheers.
Cheers.
They're right in front of it.
Stay tuned to Corn Coast fishing. Is that
you looked a little cold. Your mouth was chatting the whole time.
Oh.